Let's break down the NBA Finals, Pacers versus Thunder. Welcome, everyone. I'm Andy from WagerTalk.com, the number one NBA props handicapper this season. That's why we're going to dive into the series props market. I'm using DraftKings for all of these props. To me, this is where the real value is. These spreads and totals seem to be pretty hammered in. So let's take a look at some series some series props before this actually starts. We got some player performances, we got some outcomes, and we're going to target some angles I think are a little bit off the beaten path. Plus, we're going to be dropping details on a brand new totals special that's going to get you ready for the dog days of summer. Team totals have become a big part of our portfolio. We're going to run a special for that. I'll tell you that later. I'm from Indianapolis. It's very exciting to have my Pacers in the finals, to get creamed by the Thunder, which is how I think this series is going to go. So let's go over some stats here that back up my opinion and how we can take advantage of this. I mean, first off, the Thunder, they've just been so good at home, 8-1 in the playoffs with a stunning point differential of 221. Absolutely insane. Let's take a look at some stats. The Thunder and Pacers in pace, they're number 2 and 3, very equal. In offense, they're number 2 and 3. These are in the playoffs, very, very equal. Here's where it comes. Here comes the big difference. Thunder number 1 in defensive rating, Pacers number 9. I think that's where the big difference is. It was a lot of fun watching the Pacers, but they had big advantages in the Eastern Conference with health and depth. They were healthier than the Bucks, and they were deeper than the Bucks. Then against the Cavs, a little bit lucky. They were just healthier and deeper than the Cavs. And the Knicks, same thing. Karl Anthony Towns a little bit banged up, so they end up being healthier and deeper than the Knicks. And they do not have that advantage against Oklahoma City. And I look at Oklahoma City and I just say, they're just a little bit better version of the Pacers right now. So we look at some of these comparisons. So Pacers have Tyrese Halliburton. Can we say top 15 player in the league? Well, the Oklahoma City Thunder have SGA, top 2 player in the league. Pacers have Miles Turner inside that can rebound and stretch the floor. OKC has Hartenstein and Holmgren. A little bit of advantage there. Pacers have Nesmith, good defensive player. He's a little banged up, and OKC has Dort. So I just go down the list, and I say every advantage that the Pacers had in the Eastern Conference, I just don't think they're going to have in the Western Conference. And you got the bench of the Pacers, just waves of energy coming off the bench. OKC can match that. I think this is a really, really difficult matchup for the Pacers, and I just don't see how they can win multiple games in this one. So my first series prop that I'm going to take is the Thunder minus 2.5 games at minus 140. Maybe the Pacers get one at home. I don't see how they get 2 games from Oklahoma City. I don't see them winning in OKC, and OKC just needs to snag one at home from the Pacers, and then they can come back to close it out in Game 5. So I'm a big fan of this Oklahoma City team. I think they close it out and win the championships. Another prop I like, most threes, is going to be Tyrese Halliburton at minus 125. He's averaging 2.4 made threes this postseason. It's technically not most left of anybody, but that's because Nesmith is averaging just a little bit more, but that's because of his miracle game where he hit 8 in one game. And OKC just doesn't shoot a lot of threes. Dort has the most made threes for OKC, and he's only averaging 1.9. So if the Pacers are going to keep up, it's going to be with Tyrese Halliburton, and I can see a lot of threes from him. So I think it's a good price at minus 125 for most threes in the series. And then take a little sprinkle on an underdog here. Hartenstein, plus 195 to be the rebounds leader. Chet is going to be the big favorite here at minus 185. This is really close. So Hartenstein's averaging 7.9 per game, and Chet is the favorite. He's only averaging 8.4 in the postseason. And the Pacers, if you watch, had all kinds of trouble with Mitchell Robinson once Mitchell Robinson started getting minutes. I think Isaiah Hartenstein is going to be a nightmarish matchup for the Pacers, and it wouldn't surprise me if he gets a few extra minutes when they realize what a big rebounding advantage that he has. Chet's going to be crashing the boards, obviously, but I wonder if Chet's going to be a little bit more on the outside to stretch out the defense, and it leaves Hartenstein open for some offensive rebounds and some big defensive rebounds. So I'm looking at the Thunder minus 2.5 games at minus 140. I'm looking at Halliburton minus 125 to have the most threes. Then I'm going to look at Hartenstein plus 195 to be the rebounds leader in this series. I mentioned team totals special. Yeah, this is something that we focused on in college football, and we're hitting over 60% of those the last 2 years. So we said, why not do this in other sports? This is a hidden gem market. So we've been testing it out in WNBA and MLB, and we're 15-6 so far. And totals wise, we're on a 19-3 run across all sports. So totals has become a really big part of what we're doing, and this is going to take place all throughout the summer with WNBA and MLB. We want to capitalize on this market. There's not many people capitalizing on it. I think it's a little bit of soft market. So if you want to go to my page, wt.buzz/AL, we're running a team totals special. We're going to have about 4 to 5 plays per week, $149 discounted down, $149 will get you 30 days of all of our total plays. Again, we're looking at 4 to 5 plays per week. So it's a really, really good amount, especially at the rate that we've been hitting. So a month's pass is normally $299. We know this is a little bit specialized. So let's take a look at our team total special to mark it down all the way down to $149. Again, 19-3 run, 15-6 in WNBA and MLB, and those are going to be the markets that we focus on. It's a dog days of summer, not a ton of sports out there, but there's more than enough to build our bankrolls. So thanks very much for watching, guys. If you could do me a favor, please hit the like button. It really helps the algorithm out. Let's Wager Talk know I'm doing a good job for you guys, and subscribe to the channel. That way you get notified about any plays and videos that we have up. And we also have our 5% UFC best bet that is up. We will have that preview video out a little bit later in the week for UFC 316. But for now, let's focus on the NBA Finals. Let's focus on that team total special at wt.buzz/AL. Good luck on your plays, and we'll see everyone later.